So how do we confront this? First, we have to understand that the alpha male myth has driven a lot of the narrative that most men have about what manhood is and what our relationships should be. We have to understand that that is not true. It's not founded on reality. And if you look up the research that was originally done on the wolf packs, you'll see that it was actually proven wrong. There wasn't an alpha male. That was just something that the original researcher perceived to be true based on their own concepts, their own expectations. And what it actually is about is equality and working together and being a family and being supportive. And I think we humans could take a lesson from how those wolf packs actually were without human expectations. If we bust that alpha male myth, then we begin to see that, for one thing, this tie that so many guys have with meat consumption and masculinity, that begins to deteriorate whenever we bust the alpha male myth, and you start to see the need for compassion and for kindness and how strong gentleness can be. And we also begin to see that our relationships and the way that we express ourselves, the things that we like, the things that we do, can be expressed individually and in a way that doesn't hurt others. And when we begin to do that, we begin not to expect too much from our relationships based on our own ingrained sense of masculinity. Then we can understand that women and NBs do not exist to please us. No relationship exists to be our property or to be an object. And we begin to feel pleasure in our relationship on equal footing without toxic masculine expectations. So where can this play in with trans guys and transmedicalists? Most of them do not consider themselves to be Truscum. They hate that word because, much like TERF, it's too truthful. And they don't like it. They want to get away from that. And they're very much like the trans equivalent of a TERF because they are putting these stipulations on who can be trans, who can be valid, and they end up hurting people through that. They end up creating a lot of self-doubt that takes away a lot of the strength that it took for someone to come out and for someone to be themselves and to pursue treatments to help them feel more themselves and to live an authentic life. The way that we can address that is going back to everything we've been taught about what makes a man and doing away with it and learning from the ground up. From not causing people to do emotional labor so that we can learn, but doing our own research to become the kind of man that we want to be, the kind of man that we are, to give up these ideas that we are somehow above others because we're men, to be able to be ourselves without being afraid that that's going to tear away at our masculinity, to understand that it's okay that some men do not have a penis. I'm a man who does not have a penis, and that's okay. I'm still a man, I'm still valid, I'm still authentic. I just have a different body than some other men. We begin to tear away at the traditional ideals that we've been taught that have caused us to become toxic and have caused women to be afraid whenever they're around men because of the things they've been through at the hands of alpha males and toxic males. They're afraid because there is such a high rate of women, trans women and cis women, that are subjected to male violence. It's unbelievable, the statistics. So whenever a woman is around you and feels that she is in danger just by being around you as a man, it makes you feel personally responsible, and it should. You shouldn't ask that woman, what can I do to make you less afraid of me? You should ask other men, what can we do to change so that people don't have to be afraid around us, so that women can feel like they can be themselves and that they can express themselves, they can dress however they want, and that we will respect consent, verbal and nonverbal consent, that we will respect that we will tear away the patriarchy, that will topple the patriarchy, and that we will become the kind of men that are kind men. The kind of men who hand women the mic rather than try and play savior. The kind of men who come between them and harm when we have to, but then we'll be telling them that they should be heard. Their voices should be heard. It shouldn't have to come through a guy to get guys to care. Guys should listen to women. They should listen to their concerns. And we should do our own research so that people who are exhausted, like black trans women, are exhausted trying to tell people why they deserve respect because they've been telling people their whole lives. So instead of asking them, how can we be a better ally to you, let's do our own research and let's amplify their voices. So, I'm out here, it's a beautiful day, and I'm looking for butterflies and spiders and flowers, because guys can like spiders and butterflies and flowers too. Let's topple the patriarchy, defy toxic masculinity, and bust the alpha male myth once and for all.